On the night of February 19th, 2026, a 20-year-old from Oakland, California, took the podium in Milan.
She bowed her head
and
put on a gold medal that an entire country
an
had been waiting
entire
24
nation
years to
for
see.
24
24 years. 6 different
24
Olympic
years.
Games.
6 Olympics. Countless American women who ground their bones to dust made the cut, showed up, and came home empty-handed. Some were
home
the
without
absolute
it.
best on earth, and
Some
still
of them
couldn't
were the
crack
best in the
code.
world.
Some were inches from glory and choked at the worst possible second. Others burned out before they even got to the starting line. Every
chance.
single one of them watched
And
a
all of them
stranger
left
hoist
that
that
gold
trophy,
medal sitting in
while
someone
America
else's
sat at home
hands while
wondering,
America
when is
watched
it
and
our
wondered
turn?
when it was
This
coming
is
back.
the story of that 24-year
This is the
wait.
story of
The legends who carried the weight, the heartbreaks, the reasons the drought dragged on, and how a retiree turned champion finally shattered the curse. To get why
and
this
came
matters,
back on
you
a
have
whim
to
is the one
rewind
who
to the
finally
icon
ended
who
it.
skated right before Sarah
To
Hughes.
understand the
Because the ghost haunting these 24 years isn't a winner. It's the greatest skater who never touched Olympic gold. Michelle Kwan. If you
skating in the
weren't glued to the
90s
TV
and early
during the 90s
2000s,
or
you
early
might not
2000s,
fully
you
understand
can't
what
grasp
Michelle
what
Kwan
Kwan
meant
was
to American sports.
She wasn't just an athlete, she was the franchise. 9 national titles, 5 world championships, the GOAT of US figure skating. We're talking cereal boxes.
She was
in
on
People
People
magazine.
magazine.
She was on the cover of Time.
She was on the
As a kid, she slapped a Nagano 1998 sticker on her bedpost for motivation. She made it there, favoured to win by a mile. Then she ran
overwhelming
into a
favorite to
buzzsaw.
win.
A
She
15-year-old
lost
dynamo named Tara Lipinski,
to a 15-year-old
throwing
named
triple
Tara
combos
Lipinski
the
who had
world
been
hadn't
performing
seen.
2
Kwan had the soul, the elegance, the resume, and the experience. Lipinski
reputation
had the hops,
and the
and
experience.
the hops won. Kwan
Lipinski
took
had
the
the
loss
jumps.
with the kind of class that made
Jumps
us adore her
won.
even more. She vowed to return. Snagged the world title that very season.
Sport
She
for
owned
the
the
next
ice
4
for the
years.
next 4 years.
And then
Salt
the
Lake City,
2002 Salt Lake City
2002.
Olympics arrived, and this time the gold was
practically
really,
engraved
genuinely
with her
hers.
name. Then
She fell in the free skate.
skate. Enter her teammate Sarah Hughes, sitting in 4th, a total dark horse skating like she had zero pressure because she didn't. 16 years old.
She was
Fearless,
16 years old.
Loose. She nailed
was not
2
nervous
triple
because she
combos
genuinely
while the
had
world
nothing
held
to
its breath.
lose.
She rocketed from 4th to the top of the podium. Olympic gold. And there
Michelle
was Kwan,
Kwan, the greatest American
legend.
figure skater in
9
history.
titles, 5
The woman
worlds,
with 9
standing on the
national
bronze
titles
step.
and 5
That was the end of the road. A stress fracture took her out of the 2006 Turin Games before the torch was even lit. Game over.
been the face of
born to be
American
the
Olympic
face of
figure
American
skating gold went home with 2 medals, neither of them the one she wanted most.
Lipinski in 98, Hughes in 2002. Then the lights went out for USA figure skating. Turin, Italy, 2006.
Sarah Hughes,
the
who
teenage
shocked the
miracle,
world
had
at
already hung
16
up her
winning
skates,
that gold
went to
medal,
Yale,
had already
got a life.
retired.
The speed with which she ghosted the sport after conquering it still blows minds. That left the stage to Sasha Cohen. Sasha was poetry on ice.
Sasha was one
Flexible
of the
in ways
most
that
beautiful
defied
skaters
biology.
to ever
Spirals so stunning, judges forgot to do their jobs.
artistry that belonged in a
the Louvre.
museum.
You didn't
She
just
was the
watch her
kind
to
of
see if she
skater you
landed the
watched,
jumps.
not just
You watched because even when she was just gliding between elements, she commanded every second of your attention.
she was
led
worth
the pack
every
in
second of
Turin.
your attention.
One clean skate away from
She
the
led
gold,
after the
everyone
short
had
program
already
in
awarded her.
Turin.
Then she went down
She
on
was
jump
one
1,
perfect
down again on jump 2. She was so sure she'd blown it, she stripped off her costume before the medals were even announced.
changed out of her
back
skating
into her
outfit
gear when
before
the
the
scores
awards
dropped.
ceremony.
Turns out a messy Sasha Cohen is still better than the rest of the field on their best day. She salvaged silver.
Still
But the
better
gold
than
went
almost
to Japan's
anyone else.
Shizuka Arakawa.
But the
4
gold went
years
to
dry for the
Japan's
US
Shizuka
with no
Arakawa.
rescue in sight. After 2006, the bottom fell out. American women went 10 solid years without a single world championship medal, a decade in the wilderness.
It was everywhere.
Japan
The
took over.
Japanese skaters
then
took
Korea,
over.
Then the Russian machine
Then the
crushed
Koreans.
everyone. Teen prodigies throwing quads burning bright and fading out before they could legally drink. Bodies
Disappearing
broken
by
by
their
the grind
20s.
before
Their
adulthood.
bodies
America was stuck on the sidelines looking in. Sochi, Russia, 2014. This was supposed to be the comeback.
This was supposed to be when
Gracie
it
Gold.
ended.
The name says it all.
Gracie
Tall,
Gold was
regal
everything the
technician.
name implied.
She had the tech, the looks, the vibe, the magazine covers. 20 years old. The media crowned her the savior of US skating.
To
She
be the
finished
face
4th.
of American skating
Fourth,
for the next
the
decade.
worst seat in the house.
She
One
finished
spot off
4th.
the podium. It's the kind of result that looks respectable on a spreadsheet, but feels like a punch to the gut.
When
never
you
truly
realize how
understand
close
how
the line
razor-thin
between
the
fourth
margin
and
between a
third
podium
actually
finish
is
and
in
total
figure
obscurity
skating
is
scoring.
until you see the scores
Ashley
coming.
Wagner.
Ashley Wagner had spent years scrapping in the trenches for a medal only to land in 7th place. Team USA left Sochi empty-handed. But the silence that followed
And
Sochi,
then the years after Sochi
that
were
is
where the real story
agony
of the drought got
set in.
painful.
Because what happened to Gracie Gold between the 2014 and 2018 games wasn't just a competitive slump.
It was a
young
human
woman
being falling
shattering
apart under the
crushing
weight of what
a
had been
nation's
put on her
expectations.
shoulders.
An eating
She
disorder
developed an
took
eating
hold.
disorder.
She battled severe depression, self-medicating in the dark, fighting demons the public wouldn't see until she was already in treatment.
Found out
billed
about
as the
after she
savior
had
of American
already
skating,
entered
Yet
treatment.
privately, she was barely
She was
surviving.
supposed to be.
By 2017, she pulled the plug. She withdrew from competition and checked into a rehab facility.
She was 22 years old.
And when she emerged,
When
she
she
broke
came
the
back,
athlete's
she was
code
open
of
about all
silence
of it in a
and
way
laid
that
it all
athletes
bare.
rarely.
She confessed that the pressure had been suffocating. She revealed that the very system built to lift her up had helped tear her down. She
her
admitted to
collapse.
spending years projecting
She said
a
she had
perfect
spent
image
years
while the
performing a
real
version of
Gracie was
herself that was
disintegrating
not
on the
real,
inside.
while the real
Gracie Gold didn't end the medal drought, but her confession became the most critical chapter in understanding why it persisted.
The system
machine
that was
designed
supposed to
churn
produce
out
champions was
breaking
sometimes
them
producing
instead.
the opposite.
Fast forward to
PyeongChang,
PyeongChang, South Korea, 2018.
2008.
Ashley Wagner had been the rock of her generation. Unshakable, consistent. A
Three-time U.S.
national
national
champ,
champion.
a silver medalist
Silver
on
at the
the
World
stage.
Champion.
She was a fighter with grit who spoke her mind and skated with a hunger you couldn't tear your eyes away from, even when she missed the mark.
Even when
Seventh
she
in
fell
Sochi.
short.
But come 2018,
She finished 7th in Sochi.
she didn't even make the Olympic squad.
She was not.
And it wasn't for lack of talent. At Nationals that year, she laid down one of the most electric performances of her life. But the committee crunched the numbers, favored international
But the
scores,
selection committee
and left
chose
Wagner
skaters
out
who
in
had
the cold.
scored higher
She
internationally
was livid,
and left Wagner
and she
off
made
the
sure
team.
everyone knew it.
She
The decision sparked a firestorm of debate. The team that went without her. They finished 9th, 10th, and 11th. Gold went to Russia's Alysa
The gold went to
Zagatova,
Alysa
just 15 years
Zagatova of
old.
Russia, who was
Meanwhile,
15 years
not a
old.
single American cracked the top 10.
America.
The drought hit the 16-year mark. Enter Beijing 2022. 16-year-old Alysa Liu makes the cut.
U.S.
She placed
Olympic
6th,
team.
but her battle was
She finished
off the
6th.
ice. She was living
She had
through
been through an FBI
investigation
investigation because
involving
the Chinese government was
targeting
spying on her father.
Skating with a security detail watching her back insane. She did her job, flew home, and immediately hung up her skates.
16 and
years
she was
old
done.
and finished.
She posted a
simple
quiet
goodbye
message on Instagram and stepped
vanished
away
the
from
spotlight.
everything.
America was left waiting again. The gold went to Anna Sherbakova, skating under the neutral ROC banner. That
ROC
marked
flag.
4 straight golds for the
Fourth
Russian
Russian
machine.
gold in a row.
Americans placed 6th,
The Americans
10th, and
finished
16th.
6th, 10th,
You
and
couldn't call it a
16th.
crisis anymore.
It was
Surprises
not
are
a crisis
crises.
anymore.
This was just the cold, hard reality of the landscape. But
Here is the
where
part of this
mainstream
story that
narrative
most
gets it
coverage of the
twisted.
drought
It is too easy to look at the scoreboard and say American women just didn't have the talent.
were
That
better,
the Russians,
and the
Japanese,
Koreans
and
were
Koreans
better, and
were simply
America
superior,
just had to
and
wait
we
its
just
turn.
had to wait in line.
That is not
That
the
is
whole
dead
story.
wrong. The truth is darker. The American system prioritized medals over the mental survival of the human beings wearing the skates.
Gracie Gold's
was the
story is
headline,
the most
but she
extreme
wasn't
example,
an
but it is
anomaly.
not the only one.
Burnout and eating disorders
Burnout was
were
common.
the industry standard. Skaters burning bright at 17 and burning out by 22 became the norm.
Also
The scoring
shifted in
code
ways that
shifted
rewarded
too.
pure
It
technical
began
difficulty
valuing
over the
robotic
combination
technical
of artistry and
difficulty over the
athletics that
artistry
American
and
women had
athleticism
historically
where
been.
Americans traditionally shined. Legends like Michelle Kwan, who married Grace with power, were being eclipsed by teenagers launching quad jumps with zero artistic soul. And the
Technical
Russians,
score, but less of
they
everything
built a
else.
factory. A
And the
brutal,
Russians had
efficient,
built a
ethically grey
factory.
assembly line.
A
Young
brutal,
girls drilled with
efficient,
methods that
ethically
guaranteed
questionable
gold
factory.
and guaranteed physical and psychological wreckage the moment the cameras turned off. Their
Skaters
stars
won
would win,
gold and then
disappear
vanished within a few
seasons.
years because their
broken
bodies
by
could not
demands no
sustain
human
what had
should
been
endure.
demanded of them.
America was trying to fight a machine while still attempting to hold on to a shred of humanity for its athletes.
Sometimes that is
taking
not
the high
enough
road
to
means
win.
losing the gold.
But it is
then
the right way to
impossible
try.
happened. Alysa
And then
Liu
Alysa Liu came back.
She had walked away at 16, got her license, went to college, climbed Everest, gamed until 4 a.m. She was done.
Until
then
4
one
a.m.
random
and
day on a
decided
ski
she was
slope,
done.
she felt that rush of speed.
And then one day
The
on
ice
a
called
ski
her
trip
back.
she felt.
But this time she rewrote the rules. She was the boss, her music, her look, her timeline. She even looked her father in the eye
her
and
schedule.
told him he was off the coaching
She
team.
had told her
For the first time, she wasn't performing for a score. She was skating for her soul. At the 2025 World Championships in Boston, she took it all.
She became the first American woman to win a world title in 19 years,
shattering the dry spell.
The drought was
right
ending before it
the
had
Olympic
officially
curtain
ended
even
at the
rose.
Olympics.
Then came Milan, February 19th, 2026. She delivered the performance of a lifetime, 150.20, the highest number of the night. The building absolutely exploded. She let out a
that the
raw,
cameras
explicit
absolutely
scream
caught.
that the broadcast cameras definitely
The
didn't
score
miss.
went up and it was
The score
gold.
flashed up. Gold.
Sarah
Hughes was right there in the stands. She hit Instagram immediately, stoked to be there in the flesh to pass the torch to Alysa. From one legend to the next.
waiting in
24
heartbreak
years of
and
agony,
fallen
near
champions
misses,
and
crushed
almost
dreams,
moments
and
and
a
a
brutal
sport that asked
broke
too much
many
of too
kids.
many young people before
Until
it found the
met
one who
who
came.
played by her own rules and refused to yield. Here is the reality of 24 years. It sounds like a long time. In the sports world, it is a literal eternity.
The
But
women
when you
who
unpack
lived
the
inside
stories
those
of the women
24
who
years,
defined
it
that
stops
era,
feeling like a
it
gap
stops
in a
feeling
trophy
like an
case
empty
and
trophy
starts
shelf
feeling like
and
what it
starts
actually
feeling like a
was.
battlefield. A procession of extraordinary fighters who left their hearts and guts on the world's biggest sheet of ice. Some
Possible
crashed
stage.
out, some arrived in peak
Some of them
condition
fell.
and still came up short
Some of them
because the
showed up
competition
healthy
was
and still
just
fell
that
short
ruthless.
because the
Some buckled under the crushing weight of expectation and had to piece their lives back together from scratch before trying again.
to
And
rebuild
icons like
themselves
Michelle
before
Kwan
they could try
were the
again.
undisputed queens of the world,
And some
yet
of them,
still walked
like
away
Michelle
without
Kwan,
the one
were
prize
the best
they
in the
bled
world
for.
and
Alysa Liu didn't break the drought in spite of those tragedies.
spite
She
of
ended
all
it
of those
because
women.
of them. Because they
She
built a
ended it
legacy
because
of
of them.
American grit that meant something
Because
the
they built a
second her
history
blades
for
touched that
American
ice.
figure skating.
Because Sarah proved a 16-year-old dark horse could shock the world from fourth place.
Sport
Because
with
Michelle
grace,
taught
even
us
when
what
the
it looks
sport
like
did
to
not
carry
always
a
give
nation
back
with
what it
grace,
took.
even when the sport
Because
didn't love you
Sasha
back.
Cohen showed.
Because Sasha proved that salvaging silver after hitting the deck twice was possible if you had enough fire. Because
failed
Gracie
and
Gold
why
exposed
protecting
the
the
cost of a
person
broken
matters as
system,
much as
proving
producing
that
the
saving
champion.
the human matters way more than
Alysa
minting a
Liu
winner.
was standing.
Alysa Liu was riding that wave of history in Milan. She just didn't need the burden of perfection.
She just needed to be completely
unapologetically
herself.
She was.
She was.
And the wait is finally
And the drought
over.
ended.